Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the December edition of the South Range Board of Education meeting. I'd like to call this meeting to order and start things off by standing in pledge, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Mayor, please call the roll.
Here.
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 Ainsley.
Here.
Here. Brad Bagwell.
Here. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes for the meeting held November 21st. Are there any changes or questions regarding that? If not, I entertain a motion to approve those minutes. Liz moves.
I'll second.
Terry seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Talk about what's your treasurer first.
We can do both. Just financials, working on the year-end procedures over the next couple weeks and get those completed. We had a records meeting earlier just to give you an update to record schedule. So send that on and also make sure the progress through. And then there'll be another motion later on about certificate solutions. So on that record system. Just ask later on. Those invoices on the agenda just have to do with the circle around improvement. The PwC had a virtual run, we had to change vendors, so because they have that's our annual. And you guys have a question on the treasurer.
Questions on the financial report? Take a motion to approve invoice 13695.
I'll move. I'll
Ashwell
second.
moves.
I'll second.
Any seconds? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then a motion to approve the treasurer report.
I'll move.
Terry moves. Liz seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to new business. Mrs. Carlson.
Okay, we're going to start with Mr. Matos.
Good evening, everyone. First, board, everyone here tonight. Just Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone from the elementary. First, a big thank you from the elementary to Mr. Rowan and the high school PTO. They organized and put on the Santa's workshop for all of our elementary students the week of December 5th through the 9th. Our boys and girls always look forward to going and shopping with their parents and family members. It wouldn't happen without Mr. Rowan, the high school students, and the PTO volunteers that help the boys and girls throughout the week. So again, thank you to Mr. Rowan. Our third grade students had a field trip to see Miracle on Easy Street Thursday, December 15th at Powers Auditorium. Also today we received our fall third grade ELA scores for the Ohio State test. 65% of our students scored proficient or higher, so that's 9% better than fall of last year, and 88% of our third grade students met the third grade reading guarantee on their first try, which is 15% than this time last fall. So just congratulations to all of our third grade teachers and students on a great job. Our kindergarten and second grade students will perform their holiday sing this Wednesday, the 21st, in the auditorium. I just want to thank Mrs. Fizdos, working really hard with the girls to prepare them for their songs and all of their solos and speaking parts. And then lastly, from the elementary, Mrs. DeCibio and I would like to highlight a new addition to the elementary this year. From the beginning of the year and over the last several months, we've been working to create a new classroom that's part of our resource room to help out some of our boys and girls that have some special needs. And I'm going to let Jacqueline take over here and share a little bit about what we set up in that room.
Good evening, everybody. I do have something I just want to share with the board, some pictures, so you can kind of look. It is very exciting, the collaboration and the work that is occurring throughout the whole district, pre-K through, beyond 12th grade, really with special education services. So just had some pictures and some updates. Again, really all great. All of the buildings have been wonderful of trying to be inclusive and child-centered. So just some of the pictures that we have there. The All Students Connected series we're doing with K through 12. We have intervention specialists from every grade level working with general education teachers, just learning the new updates from the state and focusing on the new science of reading, which is helping students really close the gap with some of our students that are on IEPs and all students who might need some extra intervention. Also, we have used some of the funds to purchase some sensory material for students who have some extra sensory needs, kids maybe that have some extra energy. We were able to have a room set aside to meet those sensory needs as well as some of their educational needs also, because we have to educate the whole child now. We're not just focusing on the academics, we're trying to do the social, emotional well-being of all of our students. So just some of the pictures of everything that we have purchased. And then, there's a classroom in the elementary that we bought some things for, and for the high school, and we have some the reading services going on at the high school. So that's been very exciting. Also working, one of the slides is talking about the gifted education that we are working on. I think parents have received WEPs and some WAPs to address students and those needs that they might have. So there's some exciting training going on for teachers so that they can kind of reach both ends of our learners. We also have some English learners, so we've been partnering with the ESC, the county services, to have a TESOL teacher, an English as a second language teacher, come in and provide services for our students. So those have been happening. And then on the back, just some Section 504 for our kind of extended students with disabilities, updates and policies have been shared with staff, and procedures have been followed. So thank you so much for all of your support for Board of Education. Really, we are truly better together, and the community. It's wonderful to all come together. So thank you so much.
Mr. Zolas?
Good evening, everybody, again, certainly from the middle school as well. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to not only the board, but everybody here in the South Range community. Some good news from the middle school. November, we sponsored a canned food drive. The student council sponsored that canned food drive. We were able to donate over 1,000 cans of food and non-perishable items to the Senior Support Action Group. That organization distributes food and essential items to homebound adults in Columbiana and Mahoney counties. The homerooms collecting the most items were Ms. Houck and Mrs. Shaw. We had a dance in December. It was probably one of the most well-attended dances we've ever had since I've been back here at South Range. The Middle School Student Council again sponsored that, and all of the proceeds went again to the Senior Support Action Group. It was a holiday pajama theme dance for our 7th and 8th grade students. With that excellent turnout, we were able to donate an additional $200 to that organization. And then finally, our students helped out with the high school mid tree. We collected over 700 personal hygiene items to contribute to the high school mid tree project. Those items were sorted and given to the High School National Honor Society for delivery this week. The two classrooms collecting the most items were Mrs. Sabota and Mrs. Novak. And then finally, our spotlight students for the month of November. If you remember last meeting, I mentioned each month we were going to pick a student from each grade level through PBIS that demonstrates the core values of a Raider student. This month, or the month of November, I apologize, Trevor Thompson in grade 5, Emily Seepy in grade 6, Nick Toy in grade 7, and Sydney Bednick in grade 8. So that's it.
Mr. Rowe?
Evening, everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from the high school. Just a couple things. First, Coach Owen mentioned the mid tree. Mrs. Fishel's getting ready. That's a huge project. A lot of our NHS kids, a lot of our kids in our building help a lot of families in our community that need it this time of year. A lot of our families in our community help out other families. That's going out tomorrow. Also, this week we have our band kids. We had our band concert, our Christmas concert last Monday. Our band kids on Wednesday will be going to Assumption here in our community. They play Assumption Village in the morning, and then they go in the afternoon, early afternoon, to the Southern Park Mall. They'll be there by the old entrance at Dillard's. They have them usually set up there to play, probably for about 45 minutes or so, for just people in the mall. And then the last thing is, from our high school, I just want to thank a gentleman named Josh Coball. He's a Canfield alumni. Canfield, he's in charge of their football gridiron. He was the gentleman that organized the parade yesterday in Canfield, for inviting us and our school. I thought it was a great day for our kids. The parade kind of turned out exactly how we thought. We were hoping the weather would have been a little warmer, but it was a really nice turnout in the green there in Canfield. So I just want to make sure that we thank Josh for all his efforts for organizing it and including us in the parade.
Aaron, I think we said January.
Yeah, we'll do January.
We're talking about, with all the proclamations, the trophy and everything, it's an honor of the football team. Probably have to relocate. We have our big meeting, do that in January. Mr. Pagnotta, do you have any?
Just the fact that winter has arrived and we're looking forward to the Christmas break to take care of some maintenance needs and technology needs. Usually when we have that downtime, we take care of some of the projects we have lined up, one of which is our PA system overhaul, and we have some technology overhauls that we're waiting to do. So take care of that at that time. Thank you.
Where are we at with the window film?
And the window film is also coming. I know the supplies have been ordered. We're waiting to hear back from that company to see when they can come out and begin the install. Yes.
And then next week, I'll be taking the plans down to the building department to get approval for the door stops. That'd be also going to be great. Ms. Johnson, anything legislative? No report. Ms. Sway?
Yep.
I reiterate, which is what Ms. Rowan said, thank you to those who kind of developed the parade and incorporated our district. It was kind of nice to be able to all honor the kids and the communities for that as well. We do have Christmas break coming up. Kids are in school until Thursday. And then looking forward into the next school year, as I said, we'll be having our meeting, probably relocated to honor our football team.
Yeah, very good, thank you, appreciate you coming and sharing those things with here, some of the great things that are going on in our schools. On to the regular agenda items. Go ahead and do those.
Every year we have to select a date and time for the 2023 organizational and regular meeting. It has to be done before the 15th, so we looked at all our calendars and thought the 9th would work for everybody. 9 a.m. And then obviously we just talked about it would be in the auditorium. Or 6 a.m. Oh, geez. But auditorium will be the location. So I can make adjustments to that. We'll do the original organizational meeting, take a quick break, get all the football players in and everything, start the regular meeting. Appoint a president pro temp for the January 9th meeting. Since we'll be in a new year and the terms only last for a year, you guys tonight need to pick somebody who will start the meeting and everything so that we go through it and we have to elect a new president for the next school year. Waiver of the fiscal year 2024 tax budget.
County, big,
Approve the RC2 records retention schedule update.
we met a little bit earlier, just last time.
Lori already mentioned Strategic Solutions is the online requisition for budgetary solutions. We do have our South Range basketball social media accounts, so this is to approve that the board approves these names and the use of them. Approve the robotics team competition. This is a voluntary competition, however, we'll be taking them up to Kalahari. It will be overnight, so we need board approval for them to, even though it's voluntary. And robotics is a club, so they pay for it themselves. Asking board approval that they do go, because they represent the district. Approve the expiration of the exchange program in Germany. I have Sam Landry here to make sure it's articulated correctly what he's asking to begin to investigate, organize, and possibly move forward with.
I have a copy of an email I sent back to you, so you have some details. Hello, Sam Landry, French and German teacher. I was approached kind of a roundabout way. Somebody from the ESC got an email from an 81 Canfield grad. I think her married name now is Elizabeth Schmid, and she's a teacher at a school in Germany. the city is called Erlangen, and it's near Nuremberg. So it's kind of south eastern part of Germany. And the English teacher there, her name's Renate Fowler. She's interested in pairing with the American school to pair up students with similar interests. Initially, just to exchange, emails, communication, etc., and then possibly for exchange. My thing regarding an exchange is, I personally, and I don't think the school or the board ever want to go into something, on our own, but our own, Mrs. DeCivio and I are both former participants in the Friendship Connection, which is out of Hudson. So there are some existing, I know of this one that's a German-American exchange. I unfortunately don't know any that are like that with French-American that are locally based and on the more affordable side. But anyhow, this Friendship Connection has all the existing, framework, the legal background and all those things. Again, we participated in Friendship Connection probably like the first maybe 10 years of my career, and got away with it. The prices just became, in my mind, pretty unaffordable. Anyhow, what I'm asking for you to consider is, would it be permissible? Would I be permitted to send something home to parents? And if their students are interested, try to have, work with this Mrs. Fowler to pair up our students. They would, engage in communication. You probably wouldn't have control beyond that, whether it's their school email or their personal accounts. But on our end, I would say I would only do so if the parents approve. And then eventually to see if, through Friendship Connection or possibly through Rotary Youth Exchange, if, something could be worked out. Having said that also, as my counterpart in Germany pointed out, if families wanted to arrange something, privately, exchange, have their students exchange on their own, that would also be an option. But that's what I would ask you to consider, and I appreciate it. Any questions?
So essentially, you're just eliminating doing it yourself. Essentially, you're just eliminating the paid middleman doing it yourself.
Well, again, we could participate in this Friendship Connection. I think right now, in light of COVID, a few years back, they have a virtual program that you can pay $75 for. And to me, that doesn't sound too, we probably don't need to go that route. But if we can have students who are interested, practice their German and English skills, and pursue that, and eventually, I would say only through an existing exchange program, as far as board or school approved. What it would entail on our end would be, we would welcome students in the spring. This is through Friendship Connection, which would include an OD a month that usually includes our spring break, and then our students return in June and into July. So
Are we looking at just high school students?
this is high school students. I think the age is like 15, generally 15 to 18 or something like that. And again, in the past we participated. We've had very few problems. I think maybe one time there was a problem, and they sent that kid home the next day, honestly. So it's a long, this Friendship Connection's existed since maybe 1980 or 81. And so I think the daughter of the man who started it has taken over, and a long-standing program that's again fine alumni such as me and this city. So it led to my career in friendships that I still have today. So, but I appreciate your consideration.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And then the last one is to recognize the South Branch Speech and Debate boosters due to some recent changes and what they can and can't do for fundraising. They've done all their proper channels, filed, been awarded all the licenses and approvals they need. So we as a district just need to recognize that it is now a South Branch Speech and Debate boosters.
there's none, into public participation.
Nobody signed up for agenda items.
Agenda, okay. Yep, so since there's no agenda item for participation, we're gonna go back to the vote on these items. So the first item, the date for the regular board meeting in January, organizational and regular, January 9th at 6 p.m.
A motion.
Terry moves,
A second.
seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. At this point, we need a nomination for the president pro tem.
I guess that we keep Brian, I nominate Brian to stay as pro temp from January.
So we have Terry making a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
Seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Waiver of the fiscal year 2024 tax budget. Liz moves.
I'll second. Yes.
Amy seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve the RC2 records retention schedule.
I'll move.
Shelley moves.
Second.
Liz seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve the strategic solutions.
I'll move.
Terry moves.
Second.
Liz seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve the South Range Basketball Social Media accounts.
I'll move.
Amy moves.
I'll second.
Shelley seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve the robotics team competition trip.
So,
Liz moves.
I'll second.
Terry seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve the exploration of exchange program in Germany.
I'll move.
Terry moves.
I'll second.
Amy seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Recognize the South Range Speech and Debate Boosters.
So,
Liz moves.
I'll second.
Shelley seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that brings us to our non-agenda items, public participation. Remind everybody, 2-minute speaking limit, we asked, so I've received a lot of emails, I'm trying to share those with the board that appear to just be addressed to me. I'm taking the time to read them all, so I would ask, in addition to the 2 minutes, we have a 15-minute time limit for the agenda items unless there's a motion from the board to continue the conversation. So if you send an email, just please know that we're taking everything into consideration. We're reading all those. So if you have something to be said that's already been brought up or conveyed in an email, maybe let somebody else have an opportunity to speak. We take any allegations seriously. We want everyone to know that the safety of our students and staff are the #1 priority. So at the point we're in right now, with the investigation with our compliance officer, we're obviously not able to make any comments either way about anything. So if you haven't received a response via email from me, that's why. So 2 minutes per person, we're gonna go ahead and time it so we don't bleed over too far. And then if someone, like I said, has covered a topic, just be mindful that there's a lot of people in here. So we're gonna try to cover as much as we can. That being said, I ask everybody to be respectful. You can address me, the board as a whole. I'm not gonna call out individual people. And we'll cut you off in 2 minutes. Please don't be offended, but we're gonna stick with our board policy for this. So when you get up, please state your name, your address, you're affiliated with somebody, if you're a parent, not just a parent, but you're a parent not affiliated with somebody. Just go ahead and tell us that. So the first person on our list is Richard Craven.
Good evening, board. I'm Richard Craven, an attorney at Sephora Law. Our office address is 175 South 3rd Street, Columbus, Ohio. I represent multiple South Range basketball players and their families, and I'm here to talk about the investigation and Coach Lusnik. Coaching styles differ, right? Some coaches are positive, some coaches are screamers, some coaches are negative. No one is here tonight with respect to our camp to debate the X's and O's or which coaching style is superior. But there is a line between being a critical coach and being a bully and targeting and disparaging and degrading children. As you're going to hear from players and from their parents, Mr. Lusnik only crossed the line. He not only jumped the line, thinking that he is the coach and he can steamroll kids and parents without any consequences. And that's what bullies do. They think the rules do not apply to them. In fact, there wasn't just a line being crossed. There's board policy that has been violated. Section 5517.01 of the South Range School Board Policies and Procedures provides a very specific anti-bullying policy, and I quote, harassment, intimidation, or bullying toward a student, whether by other students, staff, or third parties, is strictly prohibited and will not be tolerated. This section also prohibits retaliation for complaining about bullying, which Mr. Lusnik has violated on numerous times as well. The evidence you will hear is overwhelming. To be clear, this is not the case of one disgruntled parent complaining about their kid's playing time. Mr. Lusnik has failed as a basketball coach on the court his entire career, amassing a dreadful career record of 39-75, and he is 7-22 at South Range. This is a very serious.
2 minute drop. Sorry, that's 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Thank you.
That's their comment from back.
No, this is not a debate. This
Okay,
is
I heard someone interrupting me, so
good. For 2 minutes. Thank you for.
there are also some housekeeping items, like with respect to.
Sir, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Singleton.
So in light of Mr. Bagwell's comments, I'm sorry, truncate.
Introduce yourself.
I just want to say I'm going to truncate my remarks. Just try not to be redundant. My name is Sean Singleton. Chris and I are the parents of Matthew Singleton. We have a great school here, and I'm grateful to you guys for that. But the environment in the high school boys basketball team does not rise to that standard. Not even close. That team is a singular example I've seen in the system where the school fails to create an environment that protects our children. There have been efforts to cover up these behaviors, and we believe there has been retaliation against those who have spoken up. So I won't get into those details. I've sent them all to you via email. But I will tell you, I encourage you to perform an independent investigation. I'm sickened by how these kids have changed. I've seen how they've changed on the court. I've seen their concern with discussing these items openly, and they're not a team. They're a couple different groups of kids, and some of whom get treated one way and some of whom get treated another. I'm concerned now that due to the fact that one of the coaches has resigned, that it could make some of you feel like something already has been done. But the person directly responsible for creating a harassment-free environment in the basketball program is the head coach. He is most accountable for what will be discovered in the investigation. And I'm thankful that some of the kids have been treated well, but that provides no solace for those who have been abused. I'm upset that with all the evidence that's been produced thus far, this individual is actively coaching the team. I'm shocked that our kids were forced back to play in that same environment on Friday's game and Saturday's volunteer event. And we'll now give you the opportunity to fix what others have done. For our kids' sake, both present and future, please take it seriously and with open mind.
Mr. Lusnik.
My name is Bill Lusnik. Father. If I had a little bit more time, I was going to actually talk about the ET Street Youth School that I went to and saw my nephew. They had a little part in there where the kids worked on it where it said hats half off. I don't know if
if you went to it, it was amazing what they did, and my nephew was wonderful. I'm sure our record is a concern for people. We have one of the most difficult schedules in basketball. We face adversity. We need to improve our skills, play better teams, have time to understand our role, and grow. We've had a handful of practices with our entire roster for various reasons. Mentally and physically, some of the kids that came from football probably should not have been there this first week. But I left it up to them. All of them were there on Saturday morning, except one. He communicated with me he needed another day. I told him to take as many days as you need to. He was there on Sunday. Congratulations, Raider football. Why would players and alumni come to an environment that quickly if it wasn't a great one? I've had conversations with a personal trainer many times. These kids use and extremely qualified, knowledgeable about the sport. We have communicated about basketball over the years. I've told them on several occasions, we have the players in this locker room do something special that the kids will remember for a lifetime. If we want to get where I know we can go this year, we have to be the best version of ourselves every single day. I told him on several occasions we could do something no other South Range basketball team has ever done. We can win a district title. He texted me this week and said, do you still believe that? I said, absolutely, because I believe in these young men. I ask my son 3 questions every day. Are you healthy? Were you the best possible teammate? And did you give your best? Thank you.
Matt, Singleton?
Hello, I'm Matthew Singleton. I live in 1226 Lakefront Boulevard. These are my parents right here. I'm a player for Coach Lusnik, and I'm just going to talk about one experience that I've had. This is my pre-game evaluation, pre-season evaluation. They told me that I lacked confidence in myself, probably due to my lack of playing my previous year because of my injury. I took the criticism and into consideration, and I was working on it. I understood that was my problem, that I don't have confidence anymore, and I was trying to develop it. And like after my first West Branch game, I played JV mostly, and I felt confident. I felt like I was doing better. The next practice, obviously, it's a long road to gain confidence. The next day, we went into film, so it's watch film, and I was singled out by the coaching staff for no real reason, basically saying to everyone in my team, Matt has no confidence. And that's why he's playing JV this year, build his confidence up, and he's just not ready for varsity level. To me, I don't think that a coach should be able to openly discuss what is being talked about in a private room with the entire team, knowing that it's a vulnerable spot for me and for and I just don't want it to happen to other people, and I know it's happened to me. Definitely a coach is someone who should lift you up, and a coach is someone who should listen to what you have that's negative and give you advice on how to fix it. And although he did that, he also outed me in front of everyone, which is obviously a setback to what I've been working towards to gain my confidence back. That's
Mr. Bill Baxter?
I'm Bill Baxter, my son Logan, he's a player on the team. I just want to make some comments about our hiring practices. I know someone who played college baseball and coached the Hyde Wharton junior football team for many years. He was turned down for a volunteer JV coaching position for the South Range baseball team. He was told that there would be a conflict of interest since his son was on the varsity team. Yet we hire someone as a head coach who has a son on the team but has not been involved in our community in the past. We have had parents as high school coaches throughout the years, but those individuals were established in the South Range community well before their child entered high school. Did the school conduct open interviews for the head basketball position? Did we select the best candidate, or was the position filled because of relationships? In my opinion, it was filled based on relationships, and the individuals in question have had history in the past that have been fired from positions
and I personally don't understand why they were hired here. Another thing that I would like to bring up is that my son was injured in a game on December 12th. He was clearly having issues walking, yet the coaching staff kept putting him back in the game. My son attempted to verbally communicate this to one of the coaches, as well as putting himself down at the end of the line to indicate that he should not go back in the game. The last time they put him in the game, the team was down by 11 points with only a minute 32 left on the clock. There was no way the team was going to win this game, so why risk further injury to my son? Thank you.
Mr. Rob,
Pass.
Michael Turvey.
My name is Michael Turvey, and I'm Dylan Turvey's dad. I'm here to voice my concerns with how my son and other children are being treated by the coaching staff. I will be playing excerpts from the meeting that we had with the two coaches and the AD.
And I'm going to be honest. We're not going to win if he's on our team. That's my opinion.
Are you kidding me?
And you started to. And what did I say to Coach? I'll tell you exactly what I said. I said, we'll find out when the lights come on. I'm doing this 37 years. We'll find out when the lights come on. When the lights come on, that demon came back. A guy that started thinking different.
You know, and I wasn't the head coach when he was in 8th and 9th grade. But I was on staff, and there were situations where the 8th grade coach at the time wanted to correct some behaviors and some things that he saw at the 8th grade level. And he was not allowed. He was not allowed. He was informed by the coach at the time, you're not allowed to coach Dylan Hart because we don't want him to leave. He was told that directly by the previous head coach. I disagreed with him with some of the situations that the former head coach put him in as a freshman. And I thought he was given things that weren't earned as a freshman because he was an open enrollment player. And the previous coach didn't want to lose him.
My son was
Thank you, Mr. Turvey. Nancy, sorry, I butchered. Statistic. Thank you. Oh, yes. We have Noah Delacher.
Hi, my name is Noah. I'm a junior on the team. My family and I moved here back in May. This is my mom and my brother. I'm so disappointed in my experience so far. In all my years of playing sports, I've never been in a more toxic environment. I get to observe much because I've been viewed as a quiet person. Yes, I don't know many people yet, and quite honestly, this hasn't been the best atmosphere to build friendships with my fellow teammates. I was told I would get an evaluation on the Remind app to our parents and me, but I never got one. Then, about a month ago, Mr. Kuznick took my practice jersey when he said he was going to wash them, and when he returned them to us, he gave me a freshman practice jersey. Therefore, I don't get to practice about 60% of my offensive and defensive sets. My only direct interaction with Mr. Kuznick was during my first open gym when he asked my brother and me why we were there and where we came from. The staff is not communicating to the players, instead they talk about the players. Much gossip starts this way. The most successful programs and coaching staffs care about every single player from the bench to the starters. Mr. Kuznick has told us that he is stubborn, which I've only ever seen equate to selfishness. He tells us what a great player he was and no one could ever compete with him. So, quote, he said he had to compete with himself and we couldn't compete with him, end quote. We don't want to compete with you, we want to compete with our opponents and win. He also said, quote, my way is the only way. It is the right way. I will find other guys if you don't want to be here. There's the fucking door, end quote. He also said, quote, "Why does the football team win and you guys don't want to?" End quote. My question is, do you think we practice 2 hours a day, 4 days a week, play 2 games a week, and we want to lose? I've been part of this team for very long, but it should not be like this. I want to play for a team with a new staff. Thank you for your time.
That has been 15 minutes unless there's a motion to continue. We conclude our participation. Seeing as there's none, we will review, going to personnel.
I asked that I have Sarah Durr as a new substitute for our district. I also have on here Courtney Reynolds and Kenneth Frank. They'll be helping out either as instructional aides or itinerant custodial assistants. We're still at night kind of doing some operations. Change in the swim coach. So I'm going to ask if you rescind the contracts that were paid contracts for Terry Patterson and Chris Hughes. We'll see later on they'll be volunteers, so they're still coaching. But accept the resignation of Diane Crumpack as the assistant track coach. Accept the resignation of James Stitt, assistant varsity basketball coach. Approve the following supplemental contracts for the 22-23 school year. Jacob Zinni, assistant girls varsity track coach. Bethany Crouch, assistant middle school boys track coach. Michael Bledgy, swim coach. He's going to be the paid coach. And then there's Terry Patterson and Chris Hughes as volunteers. Terry Kenny, volunteer track coach. Zach Smith, volunteer basketball coach. Pending his ODD and background check or fingerprint. Approve the increase in the Ohio minimum wage up to 1010 for any employees that we may pay through at that rate. Approve the $346.47 stipend for Sarah Fishel. She attended a summer high school math pathways, and they're reimbursing for her time. So that's just tuition to pay for that. They pay the districts. Any questions on any of that?
If there's no questions, I'd entertain a motion to accept personnel. Terry moves.
Second.
Elizabeth seconds. Mr. Nero, if you call the roll, please.
Terry Lau.
Yes.
Courtney Johnson.
Yes.
Shelley Litchi.
Yes.
Amy White.
Yes.
Brian Bagwell.
Yes. And at this time, it's 6:43. Board enters into executive session. We take a motion to enter into executive session. Consideration of appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, compensation of public employee or official. We have a motion.
I motion.
Shelley moves.
Second.
Amy seconds. Mr. Moore.
Shelley Litchi.
Yes.
Amy White.
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnson.
Yes.
Terry Lau.
Yes.
Brian Bagwell.
Yes. I will say there's going to be no actions taken following the public or following the executive session. So we're going to come back from executive and just immediately adjourn. So there'll be no other votes or actions taken following.
With all due respect, they canceled the games this weekend. All the parents are wondering what's going on with the cancellation of those games.
Do you want to elaborate that or let our athletic department handle that?
They just postponed to a later date.
They've been rescheduled.
At this time, they will be rescheduled, yes.
Why were they postponed?
Right now, we don't have a varsity coach or a JV coach.
There's no one willing to step up.
We need 24 hours to try to figure out if we can get a coach.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice Christmas and safe.
Me too. Huh? Why am I didn't walk. I find you.
Yes.
My mom is.